The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Morning, fellas. Steven, Randy, Sue, guys, good morning. Todd, good morning. Chris, hey, Dean. Jacques, good morning. Michael, yeah, well, guys, you'll notice first off, my screens are a little bit different. I have eliminated all but one NASDAQ chart, probably for a while, and replace them with a more elongated ES on top and gold on the bottom. Ingmar, good morning. Yeah, welcome to the chaos. Guys, I'm sure you all have seen we're limit down at the moment. ETFs are still trading and they're down further. So it looks like whenever we open, presumptively at 9:30, it's going to be vile. I would think that today, I don't know how much trading we'll do today. I've never seen this. I mean, yeah, I have. I can't say that. In I was a broker in 87. So I've seen this somewhat. But everything right now is imploding, including gold and silver. I mean, they're selling everything right now. If you look at even in gold, if you look at the volatility, for instance, here's our 377 tick on gold on the bot. I mean, you've got targets at 2 and 4 handles. This is, we've rarely seen that. I don't ever remember seeing this. My feelings are this could be way too volatile to want to trade. We'll see. We'll see. And gold will, again, regardless of the indices, gold will probably be tradable. And so will crude. But I mean, even crude, if you look at the bot on the 500 tick, first target's 22 ticks, 36 on the second. I have not looked at the VIX this morning. I didn't want to scare myself. Let's take a quick look at the VIX. Right now, VIX cash, well, they're showing 41.94. VIX futures are at 51.22, so the cash session. VIX is close too. Today is exactly 11 years since the financial crisis bottom in 2009. No kidding. No kidding. 666 on the S&P. Well, the swing low on the ES did not hold, which was 28.55. We're below that. DAX may be tradable for those of you guys that trade the DAX. Most of you do not. Today could be a very... Silver should be tradable. Today could be a very interesting day, guys. Zero hedge. Someone big was utterly out. Here's reason behind unprecedented VIX move. Randy, can you email me those? Yeah, Mortimer, turn those machines back on. I think when they do, it's going to be short-lived. Guys, I cannot emphasize enough, especially if you are small accounts. Thanks, Randy. Just stay out. Stay out. Tomorrow's another day. Next week's another week. Let them do what they're going to do. Hey, Mark, what's BAS Apple 123? What's that, Mark? Guys, if you're here on trial, good morning and welcome. Unusual day. CME has changed margin requirements to 2 times. So, good morning, Mark. So they've changed the day margin from a $500, or some of you guys pay $600 to $1,200 per contract. And the overnight is probably around $16,000 per contract. Is that correct, Randy? They were pretty steep a year and a half ago when we went through this. I don't remember what they were. Let me quickly read the disclaimer. U.S. government required disclaimer. Futures and options trading has large potential rewards, but also large potential risk. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the futures and options markets. Don't trade with money you can't afford to lose. This website is neither a solicitation nor an offer to buy or sell futures or options. No representation is being made that any account will or is likely to achieve profits or losses similar to those discussed on the website. Past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. CFTC Rule 4.41, hypothetical or simulated performance results have certain limitations. Unlike an actual performance record, simulated results do not represent actual trading. Since trades have not been executed, results may have under or overcompensated for the impact, if any, of certain market factors, such as lack of liquidity. Simulated trading programs in general are subject to the fact that they're designed with the benefit of hindsight. No representation is being made that any account will or is likely to achieve profit or losses similar to those shown. We're good to go. Yeah, I mean, did you see that? Have you guys looked at the 10-year yield? Seriously. I mean, let me bring up an FDAX. Anybody interested in trading the DAX? I mean, the DAX is open and tradable. It's if you're interested in the DAX, it's a short. Dollar index looks like it's going to get pummeled. I'm just watching it on the 15 range, Joe. See if we can get a bounce back up. Gold has about 575 buyers. Yep, I saw that. The Fed has increased their March repo operations by 50 billion. Yep. I'm not, no, I'm not. I'm just watching it on a 15 range, Joe, not on not with the bot. Guys, the bots will not be able to keep up with this. I mean, gold can, and crude probably can, but the indices are going to be violent, I would think, for most of the day. Hoy. I would expect gold to want to get back at least to VWAP. I mean, it's a big pullback. What did we hit? 1707? For those of you that stopped sniffing glue this week, it's probably a bad week. Little humor, little humor. Guys, right now we got opinions on crude. I think crude is tradable. I don't think it's going to have the same insane volatility. I mean, they sold 19, almost 20,000 overnight. I don't think it's going to have the same insane volatility as the markets when they open. I don't. Yeah, the next stoppage is 7% drop. Yep. And we're at about 5 now. I don't think it's going to have the same insane volatility. I mean, I read reports today. They're saying crude could come down to 20, 22 bucks. In any event, we're here. We'll see what we get. I got nothing at the moment, guys. Absolutely nothing. Gold could come down to 73.5 area. That's what it looks like. $73.5 maybe on gold as a target. Good day to paint the house. Yeah, go hit golf balls. I agree. Well, I would think we're going to have very little to do much before 9:30. If crude can get above 32.23, might give you some ticks in there. Yeah, there was an article I read. Kudlow made some comments that for long-term investors, you should be buying now. I did read an article from him. There is some speculation that at the next Fed meeting, which is in a couple of weeks, here comes that 73.5. There it is. Boom. Anybody take gold? They're talking about as much as another basis point cut. Gold can go long at 79.3, possibly back to 88. Excuse me. 2 more cases of the coronavirus in Tennessee. Silver's trying to get a bid. I had a great weekend. Thank you, Stephen. It was beautiful here yesterday. Let's see what. Oh, let me turn trail on. See what it does. Again, fellas, this is a sim trade. I am not trading live. Gold should go. It's going to go. It should get that first target. One tick shy. You stink.
Order filled.
500 tick is also long on gold. Hardy, I mean, I'm going to talk a little bit about the bot. I generally do that on Thursday, let you guys see it. Unfortunately, you guys are, I have some trials. You guys are in on a week, which, again, I can't control the markets, but some extenuating circumstances here. I don't think that we're going to have this issue all week. And I have, again, if you've seen any of the videos on YouTube or Vimeo, if you're following me on one of those two, I will trade a live account. I do trade a live account, but I'm very clear at this point. I am not trading live, but you guys at least get to see the bot in sim. I'm waiting for the markets to open and see what we get. But while we're sitting here, so this is the bot. Gold has to break 79.1 and it's going to skirt above 79.1, right where it's right where that first target is. It should pop, assuming you can get through it. Now, one thing with the bot as well, you're not just because it's automated doesn't mean you can't close a trade. So, for instance, if I was in this trade and I thought, well, given current conditions or whatever, I want out of the trade, all I have to do is hit close. I can move the stop as well up to break even if I wanted to, or further up. That's a good question. For me, it was probably a few months, Hardy. I mean, and the issue isn't the bot. The issue is finding the correct settings to trade the chart, right? So what we found, for instance, with gold, just to give you an idea, when I first started with gold, I was using higher time frames. So I'm trading a 377 tick. Come on. If it breaks here, it's, we should get second target as well. It's at 79.1. There it is, first target off. Now there's also a break even function, which I don't have on. But so for instance, with gold, we started with higher time, both targets hit. There's an 81 tick trade, fellas. 81 ticks on a 377 tick. Yes, Charlie. I mean, that's a humongous trade on this small time frame. But what I was saying was we started out with higher time frames. So for instance, on a 377, I might have been using maybe a 500 tick and a 750 or a 987. And one of the things we found with gold was gold works better with smaller time frames because you catch the turn. Oftentimes in gold, I could move this. Oftentimes in gold, with the higher time frames, when it triggers the long, you actually are getting it at the top of the move, and then you get a decent pullback and then a go. So it took a little bit. Now we have a strategy analyzer which will do back testing, so we can back test results. I'm still old school. I don't generally use the analyzer. I build charts, and then I go into the settings and I play with different settings until I see them on a chart and see what I like. So I'll back test manually then. So here's what we got, guys, right? Bull flag. We broke up out of that bull flag. So generally around 8:30, we'll turn gold on right after the open. 9 o'clock for crude. Indices maybe around 9:30. Silver starting to get a little bit of a bid. For those of you guys that trade silver, if anybody wants a silver long, the bot won't give you a long on silver because our 15-minute time frame is red. So the only way silver gives you the trade would be to come up and then roll back down, right? So you're not going to get a trade on silver. But looking at silver on order flow, if silver breaks up through 16,895, it'll give you a trade. Long. I'm not sure that they're going to start. I don't know that the indexes will turn on before 9:30. I think we're shut down until the open. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Let me just take a look at where the DAX is. I mean, I missed a nice long on the really nice long on the DAX. DAX currently is down 816 points. Oh, that I'm not even looking at a NASDAQ chart, Ingmar. I don't have a net. Oh yeah, I do. I do have one. I kept one. Hey, Dana. Let's see here. If the primary futures contract is limit bid or limit offered at 8:23 a.m. and remains limit bid or limit offered at 8:25, then trading will be halted until 8:30. During the halt, the exchange will provide an indicative opening with price limits expanded to 7%. Oh, Central. Okay. So 9:25 Eastern. We won't get anything in the indices until 9:25. The bot is at, I'm using break even here. Bot is break even plus one. Break even plus one on the bot. Nice job, Jacques, John. Bank Department Governor Floden has tested positive for coronavirus. Took one lot live CL 16 ticks. Good for you, Joe. No, I don't, Jim. It depends on the chart. but no. Like for instance, on the 377, generally it's too small. On a day like today, it won't be. Yeah, hit and run today. Look at this. Got it. All right, fellas. So there's been 2 bot trades today. You got 810 on gold and 760 on crude. Were these live trades, I would be more than done. Target, at least the first one. Bonds, I let them take 1 trade up 406 and a quarter. I shut it off. Crude, I let it trade 1 trade, 760 up. I shut it off. Gold took several trades before I shut it off, up 150. I did not trade anything at Russell, none of that. I did not, okay? This trade I'll leave on. Who knows where it goes. And then on my live account, guys, I traded 4 contracts total. I'm up 235 at this moment. Okay? Guys, be blessed. I will see y'all tomorrow. And we'll see if this thing can get to target. It should. See if this can get to at least first target. This should get first target, guys. Yeah, buddy. This is the best chart we trade, I think. Well, silver's pretty. Oh, by the way, silver. I let silver take 1 trade, $600. And then, of course, we have just roasted them pretty good on the ES trades today. Guys, I'm going to wrap it up. Be blessed. I will see you tomorrow. If anybody needs me, email me, Skype me, or call my cell. See you, fellas.